Critical reading and writing skills are central to English 102. The purpose of this course is to get you to take a position on a topic and defend it using the tools of an academic writer. Academic writing is critical thinking skills. These skills transfer onto a four-year degree that you might be pursuing. They also follow you into whatever technical program that you are working towards. The central tenet of critical reading and writing is that you can take a position on a topic, introduce evidence to support that position in such a way as you defend the claim that you're trying to make. Take nothing for granted. When you are reviewing sources for your argument, you should spend time asking where those sources came from and asking questions about who that author is in order to determine the legitimacy of the information and the accuracy of that information. What is the writer's agenda? That is implicit in a question like, what does the argument say? This is getting you to think through what biases the author might have. Can you trust a writer? Was the writer paid to take a position by a for-profit company? What other biases might that writer possess? There is a difference between agreeing with a position that some author takes and knowing whether the author defended the position that he or she took. When you ask the question, how does the argument work, it's not about whether or not you agree with that position. It's asking the question, did the author introduce sources to defend the claim the author is trying to make? Active reading means not just scanning your eyes from left to right on the page, but really taking information in. In the old days, this was done with pen and paper, making annotations. Annotations now are more often done electronically, and the technology we have at our disposal makes it much easier for us to read actively and to take notes while we read. Software can let you take notes directly onto your source. It can let you highlight passages. It can even allow you to add notes within the text that you are reading. If the content you are reading is static and you cannot annotate directly onto it, you can still make notes when you are reading. When doing so, it's very helpful to identify the topic or subject that you are making your notes upon, as well as making an annotation that lets you find that content. That often means locating a page number. English 102 students spend lots of time thinking through logical fallacies and argument. If you have taken Philosophy 120, our course in logic, you will study this in even greater depth. Recognizing fallacies is an important component of this. Learning the technology, the terminology, is less important than making claims and defending claims. So while it can be helpful to know that a certain argument is a slippery slope or an oversimplification, what is more important is that you are able to see how effectively an author is able to introduce sources and defend claims. In your writing, your tone is generally neutral, and that is true of most academic writing. Your goal is not to enrage a reader. Well, it could be to enrage a reader, but your goal is to adopt a formal academic tone. What does a formal academic tone mean? It tends to be neutral in the sense that you have collected information, you have studied a topic, you have come to an understanding of it, and you're now introducing sources to support your claim. You don't need to do so in a way that is hostile or antagonistic. You're simply going to lay out your facts in a clear, straightforward process.